Hey folks, it's Russ. Today is Tuesday, September 23rd, 2025. I hope you're having a great day. Tonight, I'm going to show you exactly how I get signups and build my Mailbox Money Empire. But before I get started, I just want to make sure everything's streaming properly on my end. And as always, if you're tuning in, let me know where you're tuning in from. If you're watching the replay, use hashtag replay. And if you're over on my YouTube, please consider giving me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and click that notification bell so you're notified each and every time I upload a new video. And that helps me out a lot, and I greatly appreciate it. All right, things are looking fine here. How you doing, Dave? Thanks for hopping on, brother. All right. So, if this is your first time watching one of my videos, again, I'm Russ. I've been involved in the work from home space for 19 years now. I've been working full-time for myself since 2018, and it's my true passion to help others generate mailbox money using social media and direct mail marketing. How we doing? Thank you for being on here. So tonight, what I want to do is I want to show you exactly how I've gotten 98 signups into my businesses this year. All right, personal referrals. These aren't people. This isn't counting all the people those people bring in and spill over from uplines and things like that. These are just personal referrals as of today that I've brought into my opportunities since the beginning of the year. Do I know you from Laguna Beach? I've never been to Laguna Beach, to be honest with you. All right, so I'm going to share my screen, and I'm just going to show you exactly what it is that I do to get referrals. Talking about mailbox money, so we'll use green. All right, so what I do is I have a website. All right, it's a Linktree page, joinruss.com. All right, joinruss.com. I'm not very good with these boards here, but joinruss.com. Okay. Now over here, I have my newsletter. I have my 60-minute phone consult. I have my 30-day coaching program. I have my other opportunities. There's a way to get in touch with me if you have questions. I have my social media button so people can contact me on or connect with me on Facebook and YouTube. That's all on one page. All right. A Linktree page. They're free. So what I do is I do three different things. Okay. I use direct mail. All right. So those of you who know or have been watching my videos, I have a couple programs that I use where the product is leads. All right. And I use those leads and I send them over to my Join Russ page. Okay. I also, actually, this is two different things. I have email. All right. Because I do have a little list that I have. It's not a huge list like some of these marketers have. And then I use direct mail. Okay. But either case, I send everything over to Join Russ. Then I use Facebook. Okay, Facebook. And I do the same thing. I create content. And I have everything going over to Join Russ. All right. And you can see I brand everything with Join Russ, right? Look at my hat, Join Russ. Look at my mug, Join Russ, right? That's the main hub of all my businesses and my coaching that I do. So I send everybody over to Join Russ. Okay? Everybody goes over to Join Russ. And then the third thing I do is I use YouTube. And I do the same thing. All right? I try to provide value in my videos to help people, to motivate people. And unless it's a video about a particular opportunity, I drive everybody over to joinruss.com. Okay. Now, if I do a video about Quicksilver, I'll have something in there where you can join Quicksilver. If I do a video about American Bill Money or Cash Building System Unlimited or another one of my programs, then I'll have a link that goes directly to that opportunity. But you'll still see in all of my YouTube descriptions that I have my joinruss.com link in there. Okay. And that is what I do. And I show up every day. I take massive action and I stay consistent. And that is what has allowed me to get 98 referrals into my business opportunities since January 1st of this year. Right. And we still have, October, November, December. Right. So I'm going to be well over, I'll probably reach the 100 before the end of this month. And then, my goal every year is to get 120 people into my business, personal referrals. And the reason I choose that is because when Brian Carruthers was building his Legal Shield empire, that was his goal. His goal was to get 10 people in a month. And he did that for 10 years straight. All right. And he doesn't really do any recruiting anymore because his team is over 400,000 people. All right. And he makes over $2 million a year in Legal Shield. But I try to follow what people who have had success, what they do and what they've done. And all of them, there's one thing that remains the same, and that's just staying consistent. You have to show up every day and take action. And if you're not doing that, you're not going to build an empire, right? You're just not. You can't go and do a post about your opportunity and then wait 3 weeks and do another post about your opportunity. And in those 3 weeks, post about politics or religion or drama or some BS that nobody cares about. Right? If you're serious about building an empire, then you have to share stuff that people are going to be attracted to. Okay. And I know there's some people out there. I'm not saying politics and religion and all that stuff is bad. I'm just saying if you're trying to, you want to brand yourself. Right? You want to be the person that people go to when they have questions. Like if somebody has questions about building, mailbox money, people ask me questions all the time about it because they see me showing up every day and they see me posting my results. Some people say, well, you don't want to post your results. Well, those people, they don't have any results to post. That's why they say that, and I'm not saying you should post every single time you get a sign up. I certainly don't do that, but I want people to know that I'm on here taking action every day and not just talking the talk, but walking the walk. Right? That's what I want people to know. And then when people see that, then they go, wow, this Russ guy knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's doing. Right? And that's exactly, Dave. Consistency is key. You have to show up every day. Every day. It doesn't matter if you don't feel good. It doesn't matter if, you just can't make excuses. You have to show up every day and put in the work. And that's what separates the winners from the losers. That's what separates the Brian Carruthers from the tire kickers, from the people who never make a dime in network marketing. I say this in other videos I talk about. In order to be part of the 2% club in network marketing, all you have to do is refer 10 people to your opportunity in your life. 10 people. And most people don't even bring in 1 or 2 people because they think that they're going to sign up and they're going to get rich overnight. And that's not how it works. Right? It's a real business. If you treat it like a business, you're going to get business pay. If you treat it like a hobby, you're going to get hobby pay, or it's going to cost you most likely like a hobby. So you have to show up. And there's times when it sucks. There's times, I just remember I talked to one of my mentors. This was a couple years ago, and this guy makes way more money than I do. Okay. And he's bringing in people all the time. And we were talking one time and he told me, he said, you know what? I went this whole month and I didn't have one sign up. He's a multiple 6-figure a year earner. And he went a whole month with no signups. But you know what he didn't do? He didn't quit. He didn't give up. He still showed up every day, even when all those days went by with no signups. I have a calendar right here on my wall, and I keep track of everything. Okay. My last sign up into one of my business opportunities was on the 21st, right? So it's been 2 days. Now, some days I'll go, let's see here. Well, this has been a pretty good month. It's about every 2 to 3 days I'm getting a sign up. But there's times when I'll have a whole week, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days where I don't get any signups. But I'm still showing up every day. I'm still showing up every day, and I'm not giving up, and I'm not, throwing in the towel because I'm not getting the results that I think I should be getting. Yeah, to be balling, you have to be all in. That's right. Exactly. Be all in, balling. So you have to have that mindset, and you have to understand that you're not going to join a work from home opportunity and get rich overnight. In fact, you probably, if you're just starting out, you're probably not going to get rich for your first couple of years. That's just a fact. But it's the greatest business model, in my opinion, that exists on the planet. All right, because where else can you go and write your own paychecks? Even the president has a salary cap, right? Doctors, lawyers, even if you're self-employed, you have salary caps. But with network marketing, with multi-level marketing, there's no salary cap. It's totally dependent on your work ethic. And the reason that there's only 98% of people never make any money is because those 98% of people never do any work. They have the mindset that, I'm going to sign up and I'm just going to get rich. All this money is going to fall into my lap without me having to do anything. And that's not how it works, right? So the first thing is you have to come into a business opportunity, a work from home opportunity, knowing that it's going to be long-term. All right. You have to have a long-term mindset. Wealthy people don't go and invest their money into something thinking, I'm going to get rich tomorrow. They go and invest in something thinking that, having the long-term mindset. Thinking, I'm going to put money into this, and in 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road, it's going to be worth a fortune. Okay? So you have to change your mindset. And then you just have to show up every day. You have to find out, whatever resonates with you. Okay. And actually, if I go back here, up in here, you can include business cards. All right. Business cards and drop cards. All right. I use business cards and drop cards. So if I'm out in public and, not too long ago, I was in a BJ's and I saw a young guy standing over at, when you walk in, they try to sell you on phone plans and AT&T and all that. I went up there and I started talking with him, and I was just asking him how he likes sales and all that. And, by the end of the conversation, I handed him one of my business cards for Quicksilver. So I do that as well. I hand out business cards. I drop cards. And that is what I do. It's not rocket science. It doesn't have to be hard. You don't have to, put much thought into it. It's as simple as creating content on Facebook and YouTube. All right. And I use Facebook and YouTube simply because they're the second and third most visited sites after Google. Right. There's billions of monthly users on these platforms. So you don't need any more traffic. All the traffic you need in social media is on Facebook and YouTube. I send out letters. All right. I send out letters to people who are, in fact, I'm putting stacks of them together right now. Okay. I'm always putting stacks of these together. So I'm sending these out. Most every day I send out a bunch of them. And that's it. That's all that I do. And then I keep my Facebook profile. I share things that I do with my wife. I share stuff I do with our daughters sometimes if they're around. We share our animals. We share our soap business. You just want people to know who you are. Just be real. And that's what I do. That's what allows me to get signups into my businesses. And that's how I build my Mailbox Money Empire. Right. So let me just show you what my Join Russ page looks like. Yeah, it's low startup most of the time. There's nowhere else you can go and start a business. Right. Just say Quicksilver, for example. You can get paid up to 7 different ways with Quicksilver, okay? One of the ways you can earn up to $20,000, just one of the ways, all right? Now, is it going to take work to get there? Yes. But guess what? The business only costs $9.97 a month, plus an auto wealth delivery that you can get for as little as $8.97 a month. Where else are you going to go and get a business for that cost, right? If you want to start a McDonald's, I always use McDonald's. I don't know why, but you have, first of all, you have to prove to them that you have $500,000 in liquid capital, and that's before they'll even look at your application. All right, so you have to have $500,000 sitting around that you have access to. Then you have to fill out the application. Then, if you're approved, you have to spend money on all of the stuff, all the equipment, the lease for the building, all the insurances that it costs, your employees. The average McDonald's owner at the end of the day, they earn $150,000 after a year. Okay, that's their salary. $150,000 is the average McDonald's owner's salary. Now, is that a lot of money? Yes, a lot of money. But think of all the headaches and BS that they have to deal with. You couldn't pay me $200,000 to own a McDonald's and deal with all that nonsense. People calling out. I mean, I just could only imagine it being a nightmare for that amount of money. Okay. But when you work for yourself, when you work from home, if you're a go-getter and an action taker, I mean, it's awesome. I'm not saying that it's always, a walk in the park. Being an entrepreneur, it's a roller coaster ride. There's ups and downs like everything else, but there's a great freedom to knowing that, you're your own boss. And I just wouldn't trade that for anything. I worked for many jobs over the years. I've worked for other people longer than I have worked for myself. I've only been working full time for myself since 2018. So all those years up to then, I've had jobs, and there's nothing wrong with a job, but there is something to say about being your own boss and being able to do what you want, when you want, for as long as you want, and not worry about cash flow. And you can do that with network marketing. You just have to show up and put in the work and stay consistent. You want to do income producing activities every day. You want to get 2 people to look at your business opportunity every day, a minimum of 2 people. Okay. And just for the math of it, if you did that every day, at the end of the year, you'd have 740 people who took a look at your opportunity. And if you, just for easy math, have a 10% conversion rate, that'd be 74 new people into your business opportunity. Imagine if you had 74 people into your business opportunity. What would that do for you? And then you go and show those 74 people exactly what it is that you do. That's how empires are built. Right? And I keep everything super easy for anybody. Right? This is my Join Russ page right here. I keep everything super simple. I don't go making my own pages up. I don't do anything. This is a free link, or Linktree is free. Okay. And this is all it is, right? There's a free guide here. When people click on that, they get taken over to a page where they can opt into my newsletter, and they get a free guide on how to start making money with Mailbox Money. This is my Quicksilver program. Join my #1 wealth program. This is where you can book a 60-minute breakthrough call. I have a 30-day coaching program for action takers. This is a button to my other income streams. And this is a place where you can ask me questions. Right? And then people can connect with me on YouTube and Facebook. Right? And see that I'm a real person. And everything's branded. I have the same profile picture on my YouTube channel, on my Facebook channel. I keep everything the same, branded to me. Right? And that's what you want to do. You want to brand yourself. People join people. So it doesn't matter what you're selling. If somebody resonates with you and they like you and they see that you're talking the talk and walking the walk, they're going to join you. As opposed to somebody who does one post every 3 weeks or one video every 2 months about their business opportunity. Right? People sponsor shop. They're going to go and look for somebody who's taking action, because why would somebody want to join somebody who never does anything? So that's my Linktree page, and these are free. You can get a free Linktree page. You can have a paid one too, and I use the paid one. It's like $9 a month or something, but that's because I'm an analytical person, and I like to see the stats. I like to keep track of how many visitors am I getting, how many people are visiting this link, how many people visit that link, and then from time to time I make changes on it, and I split test different things. But you can get a Linktree page for free, and you just match up your profile picture on your Facebook and this, make it look professional, and brand yourself. Start branding yourself. Start becoming the authority in whatever niche that you're in. All right. So another thing that I offer, I have a 60-minute phone consult. All right. So this is my 60-minute breakthrough call. It's $97. It's 1 hour. And it says this powerful one-on-one session is designed to help you gain clarity, direction, and momentum in your journey to build a mailbox money empire. In just 1 hour, we'll break down your goals, uncover what's holding you back, and map out your next best moves. Whether you're just getting started or looking to scale, you'll walk away with clear action steps, renewed confidence, and a custom strategy to move forward fast. Right? So if you're interested in booking a call with me, it's worth $97. If you want to build your business, if you're serious. Thank you, Anthony. Anthony just had a phone call with me. All right. I just helped Anthony. So that is my 60-minute phone consult. And then I have a 30-day momentum program. Okay. This is $297. This accountability-driven coaching program is built for action takers ready to start and grow their own mailbox money empire from home. With a mix of direct mail and social media strategies, you'll get personalized support, daily income-producing tasks, and weekly accountability to stay consistent, build momentum, and start seeing real results within your first month. So what you get, you're going to get 4 weekly accountability calls. You're going to get 1 monthly progress review. You're going to get daily income-producing tasks for 30 days. You're going to get daily check-ins and motivational tips. That's $297, right? And you know why it's 30 days? Is because it's a proven fact that if you do something for 30 days consistently every day without stopping, it's going to get programmed into your brain and become part of your daily habits. It only took me 10 years to realize that. Because the first 10 years I was in this marketing world, I just jumped from program to program to program to program. I had shiny object syndrome. And I would make a little bit of money here and a little bit of money there, and just enough to keep me interested in, wanting to make more money. But I would jump from program to program to program to program. And it wasn't until I finally focused on one program that got me where I am today. But anybody can do this. You don't have to be a brain surgeon to be a network marketer. You just have to want it bad enough, and you have to commit to showing up every day, whether you want to or not. And actually doing some work. Doing some work. It takes work. Anything worth having in life takes work. But that is what I do. And that is all that I do. That's all that I do. Every day. All right. I'll just show you one more time. We'll just recap it one more time, and then I'll hop off here. So I have a couple of places direct mail opportunities that I'm a part of. And the products that you get with those are leads. All right. And I also have some good lead sources. And I put together a letter, which, by the way, if you join me in any of my programs, you're going to get my resource page. You'll get my letter template. You get my contact information, and you get all that if you have a phone consult or join my 30-day program as well. But I use email. Okay. I build a list. I send out emails. I send out letters in the mail. I hand out business cards, and I drop cards. All right. And all of that stuff takes people to joinruss.com. Now, I do have some quicksilver business cards and drop cards that go to that specific business, but it's the same thing, you know. So that's one of the ways that I do. Then again, I create Facebook content. Go check out my Facebook wall. All right, I mix it up a little bit, but I create content every day. I make sure I do a post. Excuse me. I make sure that I post every day. All right. But I'm branded over there at joinruss.com. And the same thing with my YouTube channel. At the very least, I do a post. I try to make a video every day, but at the very least, I do a post. And everything is branded to joinruss.com. And that is all that I do. That's all that I do. So I don't see any questions over here. But even if you're watching the replay and have questions, reach out to me. I'm here to help you out. And like I said, anybody can do this. You know, you just have to have the right mindset, and you have to show up every day. And that's it. That's what separates the Brian Carruthers from the people that never make anything. You just have to show up every day. And you want to be reading positive stuff, you know, like this bookcase back here. Most of these books are, you know, business books or books about business people, you know, and just read about everything that you can, you know, read about Jeff Bezos and Steve Jobs and Elon Musk and all the tycoons that were, you know, at the turn of the century, the Rockefellers and the Warburgs and all that, you know, read about what they did and how they transformed everything. And these people were savages. They weren't sitting around complaining, I'm tired, I don't want to do anything, you know, I'll do it tomorrow. No, they don't make excuses. They show up every day. And that's why they got to where they are. You know, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and the person was talking about how there's only 2 times in your entrepreneurial journey when people applaud you. And that's at the start line and at the finish line. But all that space in between, there's nobody there for you. It's just you. Right? Like you see Jeff Bezos in his, you know, $100 million yacht, and you see Elon Musk and, you know, the richest people in the world. Right? You see what they have, and they're always on the news with this and that, and people complaining they have too much money. But you don't see what it took for them to get there. You know, Elon Musk slept on couches for 10 years before he ever made any money. You know, Jeff Bezos worked out in an office that was half the size of this. He actually started Amazon in his garage. You know, so it's good to read books about these types of people, and then you see what they really went through to get to where they are. Right? What lead source you have? Well, I have, to be honest with you, most of my leads come from Facebook and YouTube. Facebook and YouTube are the #1 leads. But if you're looking for direct mail leads, send me a message and I'll talk to you. So, but yeah, that's what I do. All right. So, Dave, I appreciate you being on here. Anthony, thanks for hopping on here. Steven, thanks for being on here. Everyone else, thanks for being on here. All of you watching the replays, I appreciate each and every one of you. If you found value in this video and you're over on my YouTube channel, please consider giving me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and click that notification bell so you're notified each and every time I upload a new video. If you're on my Facebook, please smash that like button for me. And feel free to share this if you know anybody who might find value in this video. All right. So with that being said, I appreciate each and every one of you. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. And until then, stay well, be safe, and peace be with it. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day.